The Frankly Speaking Roof Cam, brought to you by Boss Security and Horseheads. Contact them today for all your business and home security needs. Welcome back to Frankly Speaking here on WYDC TV Big Fox. I'm your host, Frank Acomb. We are broadcasting from the Hesselson studio. And in that Hesselson studio, we're going to be talking about Career Development Council. Thanks so much for being on the program.
Thanks for having us.
All right, we got a lot to talk about because you're celebrating 50 years. We're going to get the history of it all. But people that are just tuning in, what is the Career Development Council?
So our mission is that we connect students with real world experiences with businesses. And it's anywhere from job mock interviews to internships to job shadows, and we host career days.
Oh, wow. That's got to be so beneficial in today's kind of career climate, because you're almost going in with experience that I would say your fellow potential employees don't have. Is that true?
Yeah, so? I mean, you could say that. Yeah, I mean, you could say that one of the cool things about the organization, too, is it's very student-focused. Okay. I think schools and businesses are important components of the organization as well. But because it's definitely student-focused, the student has the opportunity to meet with career development representatives and say, I'm interested in being a veterinarian. I'm interested in working in manufacturing. Okay. And that representative can match that student up with some one-on-one experiences. So in that regard, I think yes, because I think when we went to school, that wasn't the case. We didn't have that opportunity to learn about specific industry. So yeah, I think that's true.
Now, I don't think it was specifically with Career Development Council, but I know that I had a co-op, we called it, like an internship, and I think it was so beneficial to get you started. So when you wanted to get back into, at that time it was radio for me, you could jump right in. You had the experience, and it was great for your resume, right? So you guys do a wonderful job for the community. We always try to be community focused here on the program. So tell us about the community involvement over the years.
So last year, we work with over 600 organizations, businesses and nonprofits. And last year we had a combined total with individual and group events, 706 events we had last year. And the following businesses hosted students for 25 or more events: Arnett Health, Chemung Canal Trust Company, Corning Community College, Corning Credit Union, Corning Incorporated, First Heritage, Guthrie, the New York State DEC, Region 8, Servview Credit Union, New York State Police, Steuben County Courts, and the United States Army.
Wow, you had it all covered.
Yes.
When you say that many events, what is a typical event? Is there a typical event? I may be showing my ignorance here about, well, what is specifically an event?
An event is if they did a mock interview,
Gotcha.
So anything that we provide in our services. So they could come into a classroom and career speak. They could talk to one student. They could do an informational interview where kids are just asking. Sometimes it's hard for kids to be able to get into shadows like the healthcare.
Yeah, of course.
Because of confidentiality. So then we do these informational interviews so that students can ask, how did you get into it? What was your schooling? Yeah. What would you say is the most challenge? So really, they're advocating for what life could look like after they leave high school.
And have you found through the years, because you have so many businesses that are involved with it, have you found through the years that they're very excited to keep teaming up with you? Because it's got to be on the back end beneficial for them, or potentially, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we're trying to grow, and we're trying to be more intentional in the future with businesses that might have some job needs in the future, and we're trying to let students know, hey, if you don't want to leave, you can stay here.
Right.
Yeah, and I think in working with partners such as CSS Workforce New York, SDC, Southern Tier Central Regional Planning, looking at what the community needs are, because that's our end goal here is we want to educate them so they leave. We want to work with our partner organizations to figure out what the needs are of the businesses here and match the students up appropriately. And
that's so important, because I've had conversation with CCC and others about there's a need in our community for good employees and future employees. Yeah. So that's what I mean. It's just so perfect for our community to have something that benefits students so greatly, but also benefits our very important business partners in our community.
Yeah. We can't just do this for the students. We have to think about the businesses, intentionally and make those matches. Yeah.
Now, you mentioned you're always looking for new businesses to get involved. Is there a way that's easy to do that? I know I have the website up on the screen, but is that something they contact you?
Absolutely. And if they go to that website, there is a form that they can fill out to connect with us.
It's not difficult, I'm assuming.
No,
because you want them to be involved, and
Absolutely.
They want to be involved. And now, you're celebrating 50 years. there must have been a need for this for 50 years now. That's amazing. What's a 50-year celebration look like?
We're going to do a Cheers to 50 Years event at the Pines.
Oh, cool.
November 14th from 6 to 9. And it's just an opportunity to kind of share the highlights that we've had over the years, have some of our executive directors share some, highlights.
Yeah.
And then celebrate our businesses and share some success stories that students have had with internships.
Oh, that's great.
And connecting with businesses in our area.
Well, I'm sure in... I guess getting ready for a 50-year anniversary, you've been looking at the history. How did this all start?
So it started back in 1975. It was a spring. It was a small task force that got together, and they applied for a vocational education grant, and they were awarded it, and they became public November 7th, 1975. The grant was for 5 years, and it was to connect students with real world experiences, like the world of work, connect them with it. And that's how it all started. And Don Beck was the leader at that point.
And it's just grown, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Right. And it continues to grow. How do people get involved, whether it's a student? Do they go through the school? Is that how it works? So they don't contact you directly?
Right. So part of we're nonprofit, but the part is that districts do purchase our services.
Sure.
And we have 15 out of the 21 GST BOCE region school districts, plus we have the GST BOCE CTE on each campus, on the 3 campuses, plus we have Notre Dame, Corning Christian Academy, and Sayre High School joined us back about 20-some years ago.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. So are you still looking for more schools, too?
Absolutely.
Wow.
We're small but mighty. We have about a team of 14, and they go into the schools. They kind of, whatever the school's mission or needs are, they help them. They bring them to our regional events that we have, like Manufacturing Day, Tried Trades event, anything that we can get the kids connected and schools want us, we're there.
That's really impressive. So a team of 14, and you said, I don't remember off the top of my head, but that many businesses you're working with, but also that many students you're working with. And I would say students aren't always the best at getting their paperwork in sometimes and things like that. So that's a lot of work for 14 people.
Yes, it is. And they're great. They're amazing.
What's your typical day look like?
Typical day, they're running. It depends on the day, but
sure.
Mondays we're in the office kind of collaborating, but then the rest of the week they're at their schools. Yeah. And then if there's regional events, sometimes it's all hands on deck, and we're hosting. We just had the college career fair, the college fair, excuse me, at the Armory last week.
Oh,
it was a great event.
Oh, so you just
and they were also involved in the Manufacturing Day event on Friday over at Airport Corporate Park. We saw 500 some students go through there and learn about manufacturing careers. So that's the other aspect, is that Career Development Council is partnering with other organizations in the region to put on these larger events like a Manufacturing Day that affects 500 students as opposed to just one school in particular. They have that reach.
And that's such a huge event every year. Yes. I mean, you hear people talking about it that aren't even involved in it. I mean, that's I know you have a lot of representatives attend and things like that. So
a lot of businesses.
And businesses. That's amazing. So when you look back and you said at your celebration, there's going to be success stories and things like that. How good does it feel when you hear those success stories after working hard, after Manufacturing Day, something like that, and it's been a long day, and you just hear from the students? It must be wonderful, rewarding.
Right. It affirms that every student contact that you make, every permission slip that you might ask for an extra time is well worth it, especially if a business can keep a kid or retain a kid in our area.
Well, and just before we go, I think we've done a really good job of being completely comprehensive here and telling everything that everybody needs to know. But if people have questions or the community members want to become a part of this and help, what should they do?
Go to our website, or they can contact me, Sally Dean Mosier, the executive director, and my email is sdeanmosier@gstboces.org.
And again, that event is coming up. They can find out more right at the website as well on November 14th, and you're still looking for sponsors.
Correct, and we do have a Facebook page, which is Career Development Council. We're in LinkedIn. So we do have.
I would hope you'd be in LinkedIn.
Yes.
That seems like what your profession is in a way.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show. Thank you for telling us about this. I think there's a lot of people that have always heard about Career Development Council, but maybe aren't overly familiar with it. So I think we did a good job letting the people know. What do you think?
Yes, thank you.
All right. Stay with us. We'll be right back with Frankly Speaking after this.